What's going on, guys? This is Ben from NolanTCG here today with the second semi-final of our Quarantine Cup series, and I am joined today by Jake from Cowboy for Game.
How's it going, guys? It's time to decide whether we have an Eldlich mirror or otherwise.
It's going to be disappointing there's an Eldlich mirror, but let's be real,
it's
what I'm
very
expecting.
much the format.
Yeah. When we see the tail of the tape, it is very much Lewis. Lewis has a clear, more recent success than Logan, but Logan can be a dark horse at times.
Plus, Logan says enough about his 2018 victories that it feels like it happened yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. But let's get them to start. I will be back shortly once I tell them that they are good to go. Okay, and they are rolling. While I'm at it, let's increase the player limit on that table to 3, just to make sure that we can get a judge in there.
Yep. So Lewis has won the dice roll, paper, scissors, rock, which is definitely what he wants, being that he's playing the Eldlich Synchro that we're familiar with. And then we have Logan, who's playing Monster Mash. So he does have a few hand traps in his deck, but being that it's 60 card, it's quite unlikely that he'll actually see them when he needs them.
Looking at it here, it's only 3, is it not? Oh, it's 6. Imperms and Ashes.
Okay, is he not maining Nibiru's? I thought he was maining Nibiru's as well.
He's not. I thought he was, but looking at this list, doesn't look like it.
No, I can't even see them in the side.
I think a Souls is coming down early here from Lewis.
Yeah, so we got Souls. Okay. So maybe he's already opened the Jet Synchron?
I have just gotten a message here from Logan saying that he bricked. So
okay, that's good. Yep, 60 cards. I'm glad that he had this in this match rather than the one that we versed. Okay, so he's already opened up the Despot 01, so we have the Needle Fiber play, and if Logan hasn't bricked, then this will be full combo without interruption.
And a VFD is probably going to wreck his day playing Thunder Dragon.
Oh, absolutely. If he calls Dark, then his turn is effectively over.
Yeah, well, I thought there was a bit of hesitation from Lewis here to see what he's grabbing out of deck. Yeah, cool. I was like, surely he hasn't drawn 2 Jet Synchrons and then summon the Despot.
Which I mean, even if he does have interruption, he'll be able to do it again next turn, and he's already got the Sanguine Engrave to set up to get a trap summon.
That is going to be great. What was the value he got off that Souls? It was just a 1 send off the Souls. Okay.
Just the 1 discard, yeah. So he may have already opened up another Sanguine, so just getting value by getting rid of the other one.
Possibly.
So that he has something to set up for next turn.
I must say, Lewis is very quick to get through his little combo here.
Which is good because it's painful to watch.
Very much a pleasure to watch. Be interesting to see where Logan goes from here. So apparently he has drawn a Garnet. So looking at his list,
a Garnet for his list. Is that possibly one of the Neos Fusion pieces? Wait, does he play Neos Fusion?
He's siding the Neos Fusion. I think he's drawn Scythe because he has forgotten to play Sanctum.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did. God, that's funny.
He's playing a Scythe with no way to pop it other than Titan. And there's no way he's getting to a Titan here unless he has an amazing hand and Thunder Dragon Fusion.
Yeah, he'd pretty much need vanilla Thunder Dragon and something he can normal summon. So we just had the 2 draws off the Coral and Ravenous play. Now we're going to be seeing the usual Vermilion mech.
We're getting to the end of it now. How many set cards are we going to see? Oh, he's going to resolve that search. I think he's probably going to set about 3 here. Theoretically, he has a Sanguine.
Alright, so we've got 2 sets, assuming that one's a Sanguine, and then he's going to set either Hackero or Conquistador from the Sanguine Banish. Alright, so Hackero. So in theory, we've got a Sanguine, a Conquistador, and a Hackero. Well, the Hackero we know.
Yeah. Now let's see where Logan's going to go from here. Will we see a shotgun?
Right. No, Lewis is good enough to know that he has to play a card first before he shotguns. And knowing enough about Logan's deck wanting to go first, he knows that he's not got to be worried about kaijus or anything.
Does he call light or dark?
In this deck, I'd probably call dark, because realistically, the ones that get you the most value in a Thunder Dragon type deck are dark type, so you'd want to nullify the effects engrave as well.
Yeah, I was more thinking like negate the Hawk. Well, I suppose the dark does take care of this Alistair as well.
Okay, but in saying that, the Alistair will activate on summon, and then he has to chain to it, so the search for Alistair will resolve regardless.
Yeah. I always forget the True King of All Calamities only negates the activation. Is it? No. Yes, that was
Prevents
correct. Yeah, prevents activation. There we go.
And Lewis has been quite clever in the material he's detached. Oh, actually, he's got fire type access anyway. So if I were Logan in this situation, depending on what else is opened, I would banish probably the Magician's Souls in order to make a Kaliga, just to stall out for turn. But depends on what else he has.
Let's taking a peek at his list here. How much genuine... I don't think he can genuinely extend very far at all, looking at his list. Like,
not when he's locked out of monster effects on field. That's quite a lot of what his deck generally relies on, so I can't see him playing a lot further from here.
He may be able to get to an IP with something to summon with it. There's something to link off with it. But,
true.
Like, he does play enough genuine extenders that he can summon out here. Where's he going?
I suppose one thing I just thought of as well is that he's put himself in a precarious position because with the Hakero, he's going to be able to banish the Invocation from Grave to stop the Alistair loop. Discarding... Okay,
he did have the quick draw.
Okay. So then he should be able to get the O-Line token. Yep. So I wonder if he just goes for IP and some sort of fusion monster.
At what point does Lewis, like, assuming he has the Conquistador, does he not flip the Sanguinier to then disrupt the IP when it hits field? Assuming he has a Conquistador.
Well, the thing is, he links these two things off. I'm not sure what he's making here. He can't do that. I don't think he can use tokens.
It's two non-link. Doesn't say token.
There you go.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
I always thought it was two non-link effect monsters, but... He has managed to get to the IP. Oh, it was a call by
the Alistair. Okay. So that breaks the fusion play unless he's opened another Alistair. Plus he still has the Hakero to be able to banish the Invocation if he needs it.
No second Alistair.
Nope. Fusion fizzles.
Oh, he will still need a Golden Lord to use that secondary effect of Hakero. Am I correct in that?
Why is it? Oh, you didn't... Okay, so maybe he hasn't opened a Sanguine because he's allowing that to go back.
It'd be very interesting if this IP is still hanging around next turn, because it could very well deal with this True King.
Well, the thing is, he could, depending on how much damage he can put on board, even if he activates the IP effect, he can then chain the... Okay, so we've got Conquistador. So Conquistador and Hakero. So yeah, as I was saying, he could chain to the IP activation on the VFD, and then it nullifies whatever he was going to summon anyway.
Yeah. It would still clear the material off the VFD, so he's free to play next turn.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. If Lewis can put enough damage on board, that it won't matter.
It would be this game.
Because he has got another Needle Fiber play set up, because he's got Jet Synchron Engrave already. So all he'd need, in theory, is a Golden Lord summon, and he's got damage on board.
We wait for the first play. What will it be?
Lewis doing a big think. God knows you've got the brain power when you're playing this deck, because you're not using much of it to do the other plays.
No, still nothing. It's rather concerning. It's been this long since I played.
I'm kind of hoping it hasn't frozen on us because that would be embarrassing.
That would be very embarrassing.
Because I can't see him checking anything, so I'm assuming it's just a big think, but I'm not sure.
Oh, we got a switch.
Okay, so we've got a VFD in attack mode.
Probably just going to force that IP.
Be interesting to see what Logan has set here, because assuming it wasn't okay. All right, so he's going to try the IP effect.
I'm
and he's
almost
chaining the
certain
VFD. Yep.
that set card is going to be Scythe. If we think he's drawn the Scythe, that set card is going to be Scythe.
True. Yeah. Okay.
Will
so
we
he's
see it
chained
get
So he's chained the IP effect. So whatever he summons is going to be nullified. So he's probably just going to go for the strongest monster he can find, just to take less damage.
Probably going to be Unicorn. I think Unicorn's his only valid target here. Like, he can make the Predator Plant, but the Predator Plant's not going to be able to send anything. Yeah.
Yep. Summon of Unicorn. Yep. Interesting that he didn't put the Conquistador in attack. Like, it's not a lot of attack, but it would have been a little bit more.
I believe he's now just going to stay in main phase and keep playing.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah,
okay.
He's forced the one interruption he knew was going to come. It all comes down to how worried he is about that back row. And if he goes after it, it could be a mistake if it's the Scythe. Nope, we're just going to go to battle phase.
Just go into battle phase. Being that he hadn't activated it to the True King, he's probably not that worried about what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, would the Scythe still trigger if he summoned it with True King on field?
No. Not currently, no. Okay, so he's already sending it. So even
he's
if
popping
it is, so even if it is Scythe, it won't matter because it won't trigger. Because it needs to be destroyed.
He's checking his graveyard, like he's going to summon it. He's destroyed. Surely Lewis knows that interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sure. We've got it. We're sorted.
I dare say Logan was just reading it engraved to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to end phase. Okay. Interesting.
I think we're going to trigger off some end phase effects. Yep.
Yep, so Hako's probably going to get... Well, it can only get the Sanguine, really.
Maybe he's just holding that the Needle Fiber play, the secondary one, for a kill combo. Once he knows there's nothing left. But Logan could very well be free to activate his effects here. We got a Sanguine, I believe it was, that he just set there.
Yeah, so we got Sanguine in the second row, and we've got the Hakero in the far left.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to see a Golden Lord and then a Banish. The Banish... Nothing really of value engraved that he needs to banish at the moment.
No, I dare say he may wait until he either starts a Jet Synchron play, or he goes for the Alistair recycle with Invocation.
He is playing 00 Lions, so he does still have that line of play if he wants to go to it.
Okay, so we have a tuning.
Looking at Lewis's deck, I think he's probably sitting on hand traps in hand, given that he didn't play them last turn.
Okay,
I'd
so we have
assume
an
these are going
Alistair
to be hand traps. Ooh, okay. Interesting card to Foolish, though.
Interesting that he's playing the Quick Draw rather than the Jet Synchron. I'm wondering if it's just to get things in grave.
He is playing both.
So maybe the other ones are banished from the Desires?
Possibly. It's in 60 cards, it'd be unlikely. He maybe just had something in hand he wants to discard. Maybe he wants to build a little bit of advantage discarding some Thunder Dragons. Maybe he has a Hawk play.
Maybe.
What? Why did I just see viewing opponent's public extra deck? Unless he's just clicked on the Lewis's and it showed him face downs.
Yeah, it tends to do that.
Okay.
You can't just be like, oh yeah, what do you got left in there? Would be nice though.
I do remember back in the old Yu-Gi-Oh games on the Game Boy Advance, it was like that, where you could just click your opponent's deck and it would show you what was in their extra deck. Granted, you were only ever seeing Blue Eyes Ultimate, but
Pretty
still
much,
there.
yeah. Maybe our Chimera. All right, so we've got an Alistair Search for Invocation. That's gone in uninterrupted. So I'm not exactly sure what Lewis has got left in hand. Like, hang on, let me look at his deck list. Maybe Ghost Mourners?
Yeah, probably Mourners.
Okay, Solar. Interesting. Okay. So now that he's got the two Alistairs engraved, the Hakero is not going to get any sort of value from using its effect.
You'd have to assume he's probably going to hold it for either to disrupt something in the Halka Fibrax combo.
Well, if he goes for the
Jet either, yeah.
In theory, he should be summoning Jet here, because if he goes for 001, the Hakero is going to be able to banish the 001 when it triggers.
It would also banish the Jet regardless. Unless he holds it for the invocation. Big decision.
Big thonk.
Gone for the 001. I guess this will force something from Lewis. Unless Lewis just allows it to all go through.
Quite possibly, because realistically, the VFD play gets him no value at this point.
Does he have any suitable link 4s he could threaten with? Let's check that out. Well, not really, no. The biggest monster he's playing in his extra deck in terms of links is just the Mecha Phantom Beast, given that he's already used his Unicorn.
That is very true, yeah. So his main threats are going to come from any fusion plays.
I guess Lewis can just, let this resolve. Doesn't have to be too stressed about it.
I was thinking maybe Lewis has a Nibiru in hand.
Possibly. Is he main decking the Nibirus?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, main decking 3. Suppose his primary concern would probably be giving him a token that big, but there's the Nibiru. Yep. Because he does have the Eldlich. You'll get the value off the Conquistador again next turn.
So that is going to have 3,500 defense.
No,
actually more than that.
Conquistador as well?
Nearly 5,000. No, over 5,000 actually. It's going to have over 5,000 defense. It's a bold move from Lewis.
It is going to be a big token. He will need to deal with that next turn. Otherwise, it could become very oppressive.
And Logan still has an invocation play to make as well.
He does, yeah. I think he definitely he more than has access to a Macabre here. He can get back his Alistair smack over that Nibiru, and all of a sudden he has a bit more presence. He has the Macabre to protect. Although he doesn't really have any traps in his deck he can discard to stop any of the traps.
Yeah, he won't have any potent negates, realistically.
Big thanks to Lewis for writing down in the chat the attack and defense of this Nibiru.
Yep, very helpful.
Right, so he's brought it back from grave.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. So does that leave him any light targets? I don't think it does.
No targets in Lewis. He
has
to use
the
his
Battery
own
Man
Solar or Scythe, yeah. He keeps viewing the public extra deck, and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be when you're looking at grave, if you click off, it'll click on the opponent's public extra deck.
Possibly.
Because I think I do that a lot. Okay, so he's gone for Purgatrio, so he wants to try and clear the board as much as possible.
That is a Purg with 31 or 29?
What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 29.
Okay, so he'll need
so
that
it'll be enough to get over the Golden Lord, but he still has the Hakero, so he'll be able to disrupt the recycle.
We have Lewis asking Sec in chat. So I'm assuming he has, yep, there we go. Out it comes.
So it'll be able to beat over Golden Lord, but that is all. Actually, no.
And he'll get damage on the Haquera.
True, very true. One of the rare times I've seen Hakera summoned in attack because its attack stat is actually bigger.
That is actually a pretty decent attack for a trap monster.
It's very good, considering the main one, the Poppy one, Conquistador, only has 500.
It's weak as anything.
And I kind of like the Protector. Not many people play Protector, but it's got, I think it's 2,400 defense.
That's pretty big.
And being that it's a trap monster that can be summoned in the damage step, I think it's pretty good.
He stuffed up his attack orders there.
He did, yeah. He needed to attack the
huge.
Golden Lord first. And do we have any traps that are... Yep, we have Conquistador that'll trigger this turn.
He has... So no, he's just going to save it.
So we have another set card, which we know is in Scythe because he's only playing one. So I can only assume that's perhaps a Call by the Grave?
Called by or possibly an Imperm. Could just be a bluff.
Does Lewis play any extra deck outs to this? No, so he doesn't have any direct outs to the Nibiru token. He'll probably need to go for a Golden Lord discard, which if that set card is a Call by the Grave, will create some problems.
Let's have a quick look over here at the log, because I definitely forgot to start the timer for this match. So
oh, no. I even reminded you, Ben.
Yeah, I know. Is there a way to view the match log from Spectator?
No.
Oh well, I'll have to run maths.
That's all right. At when they're siding, just maybe duck in and ask them. All right, so we have Nibiru beating over the Purgatrio. That'll be, what's that, 300? No, 400 damage. Oh, should have been 400.
300? So...
Oh, no, 300. Sorry, bad math.
2-7, yeah. Okay. I put 2 and 2 together, and we've got an idea of how much time's left.
Oh, okay. Cursed Eldland. So if he has another spell and trap in hand, he can get rid of the Nibiru token. In theory.
It is something he definitely needs to do now, or it is going to start smacking through for a lot of damage. Did he add a golden?
He added a trap, so he may have already had the Golden Lord rather in hand.
He's viewing his grave. By the looks of it, he's just going to set off a bunch of back row. I suppose he can Conquistador away.
Oh, true, because he's got the Sanguine that'll set the Conquistador, so then he won't need to worry about it.
Yeah. He's already got his Golden Lord, so no stress.
And unlike a lot of the other Eldlich decks that I've seen, he's not running the Golden Land Forever counter trap, so he is relying very heavily on the pops and banishes from grave.
So off the Eldland, did he add Conquistador? Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. I was tracked there. And when he didn't search the Conquistador off the normal trap, the Sanguine, I was like, odd.
And I believe that's his last copy of Sanguine. Yes, it is. So...
Ooh. Still has only gone through one Golden Lord, though.
Yeah, so it's interesting. If he can manage to keep Logan at bay this turn, then he will be able to train him to death.
As well, I suppose the fact that he's just looped this one Golden Lord does definitely hard counter the invocation.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so it appears Logan's just going to the battle phase, possibly to bait stuff out more than anything else.
We're definitely just going to see a Conquistador get rid of this token. still... Oh, there we go. We have entered battle phase.
Yep, there it is, Conquistador. So it gets rid of the biggest problem that we can see on Logan's field.
And I would assume that I think that set card's a bluff at this point.
Well, he hasn't actually activated anything from Grave, so it's quite possible that it is a call by the Grave. We just don't know. So do we know if he has a copy of Huaquera as well as the Conquistador?
He does indeed, yeah. He got the Huaquera off the Sync-Wing.
So discarding Aloof, and that'll banish the Jet Synchron. So in theory, that should be game. Yep,
that will be game 1.
Okay, so let's take a look and see what sides we're likely to see. Maybe duck in and tell them. I'll ask them what time.
I've got an idea of it.
Perfect. Okay.
I think I've given him a couple of minutes extension, but...
All right, so Logan has some Dimension Shifters, Lightning Storms evenly matched, a couple of Kaijus, and then the Rainbow Neos engine to side in. The Rainbow Neos could be interesting if he wants to go second, and it appears that most of these side cards are for going second. So it may put Lewis off guard in that he may believe that he will end up going second, but if he ends up going first and sides in he's going for second cards like the Lightning Storms and Gammas and things like that, that may cause him to brick.
It will definitely be interesting to see whether or not Logan is just... Because we can see that he hasn't just immediately clicked done siding. So he's either completely siding for going second and Lewis might get thrown off by that, or he could very well just be sitting and waiting for Lewis to click enter until he flips enter.
Knowing Logan, it's very possible that that's a thing.
I think that's what he's done. He has immediately clicked done siding the moment Lewis has clicked done siding.
Yep, so let's see what he picks. All right, so he picks going first, so he's not sided at all. So he has a lot of going first cards, but they're not like the same board, depending on what he actually does. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens.
He could potentially have sided in the shifters, but in 60 cards will he see them?
Well, the problem is if he wants to do any of his plays, like outside of Thunder Dragon, all of his plays get wrecked by D-shifters as well. So, and you can't really depend on opening D-shifters and Thunder Dragons and nothing else.
Especially in 60 cards.
And being that Lewis was pretty confident he was going second, he's got a lot of cards that can deal with Logan's board. So he's got the Gammas, he's got the Lightning Storms, and he's got Phantasmes, I'm assuming, just to prevent some bricks. And then obviously in the main, he's still got the Imperms and the Nibiru's and Ash Blossom and Ghost Mourner.
He's playing a lot of hand traps in that main deck.
Yeah, that's the benefit of one card combos, is you have a lot of space.
So we're definitely not seeing an Ash at this point.
He may have seen an Ash, he just may not have seen a point in using it. So well held if it is an Ash, because he'll get more value from using what I can only assume is a Hawk in hand. Pitching Alistair to summon the quick draw. That's interesting. Oh, hard drew the invocation. Okay, so he's going to summon Kaliga, I'm assuming, and then get the search off, or the summon rather, off Thunder Dragon Roar.
Interesting to see if this final card in his hand is a normal summon. Given that he has just discarded away his primary normal summon.
Well, in theory, he can... Oh, okay, we have a Gamma.
So he has definitely sided in those Gammas.
Okay, so he still has a Needle Fiber play from here, which is a problem.
If he's still at the Imperms in the deck, they're turned off now. I guess he has the Ash and the Mourner, Nibiru.
I would assume that... okay, so he's planned around it to some extent.
Something to note as well, he did hard draw that driver. That has not come from deck.
Oh, that's a problem. Okay. So it would have been nice if he could have... but no, then Phantasma hits the board and he can't use it anyway. Okay. Keep looking at the public extra deck. It's very important knowledge to have.
What are we going to see? Surely we'll just see a standard combo.
I can't imagine anything too different at this point.
It does look like Lewis has sided pretty heavily with the Gammas coming in, as well as the Phantasme. That's at least 6 cards coming out of his deck. Do you reckon he's just sided out the Synchro package, or thinned his trap lineup?
I don't think... Yeah, I think if anything, he's probably sided out the trap lineup. Because obviously going second, your traps are 1 turn slower to progress. So I dare say he's probably sided out maybe one of each of the traps, and maybe a couple of the Golden Land Forevers or something similar.
Maybe even just the Call by the Graves. Wait.
Yeah, true.
Looking at Lewis's list, he is not playing Golden Lands Forever.
Oh no, I didn't mean to say Golden Land Forever. I meant to say Cursed Old Land.
That's still a big thing to not be playing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As I was saying before, he's one of the few people that are playing this deck that doesn't play the counter trap. Because what I've seen as well, and I kind of agree with Lewis on that point as well, is there's kind of a win more card in that deck. Certainly in pure variant you'd play it, but maybe not in this type. So we've got the Mecha Phantom going for the O-Line summon.
Still successful here, so I would assume Lewis does not have any more disruption. Unless there is going to be a Nibiru, but that would have probably come down.
Maybe not, because it's actually not a terrible idea to wait until the VFD comes on field to then do Nibiru. Like, it's going to be a big token, and they get some draws for it as well, I guess. But it means that they no longer have access to it later on.
At least these Gammas and Drivers will be giving it 0 defense.
Exactly, yeah. Or it's possible that he's opened nothing. That is also possible.
Could be possible.
And after all this, in theory, Lewis still... no, sorry, not Lewis. Logan still has a fusion summon.
So... he has already used the Invocation.
He has, but he hasn't used the Recycle effect, nor has he normal summoned Alistar.
Okay, valid.
It'd just depend on, like, realistically, his best target's Macabre, so it'd just be a matter of getting a light monster in grave to actually use it. But in saying that, he's drawn another 2 cards, so he may have a better normal summon lined up.
We could also just use the Coral Dragon here, ditch a card, or is not.
No, because the problem is that the Phantasma will protect it, so then that ruins the play. Because I'm pretty sure even the Vermilion mech targets yet. Yeah, so just going for EFD.
Now, where will the rest of this hand get him?
Okay, so we have a lure. Do we have a good target for a lure? We do not.
He saw the shifter, but a little bit too late.
Yeah, 10 cards in grave is far too late. Alright, so he's using the Invocation Recycle.
I was like, why did that Invocation get banished there? That's not how Invocation
I think he does that just to reveal that he's using its effect, I guess.
Okay, valid. We have about 15 minutes left on the clock here, so we could, if we end up in game 3, be a very tight game 3.
What does he go for?
There's the light target.
Oh, okay.
There's the light target.
Alright, what else he's drawn?
With 1 Thunder in Banished, and now 2 in Grave, if he has seen that Thunder Dragon fusion, could be big.
And I doubt Logan would do it, but unless Logan clears the Phantasme with a possible Thunder Dragon effect, then he won't have the Imperm in order to stop the True King.
These Cyframes will disappear.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Phantasme will stay on board, so like he won't have a Imperm to put down on the Calamities. Yeah. Oh, he's hard drawn the Thunder Dragon Fusion. Okay, so he could clear the Calamity. He could clear the Phantasme here, but it's actually beneficial for him not to do that.
Let's see whether or not he goes ham. I'm on the side that he goes ham.
He hasn't shuffled his deck yet. So... Nope, there it goes.
Nope. Okay.
Nope, he's left it. Okay. So he's known not to do that so that Imperms won't be able to trigger.
Call of Light.
Light. Okay. So yep. Okay, that makes sense because now the Lord won't be able to send anything.
Yeah.
So he's got one Thunder Dragon in hand. That's the only card we know of, correct?
Yes, we do not know the other card.
Okay. So he's got at least one Monster Negate if need be. Conquistador. Yep.
Something else to keep in mind as well. Last turn, it may not have been terrible for him to at least pop the Driver, because then it would have given him a light for later on.
He's only got the one Macabre, so it actually...
he's only playing one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't actually need anymore. I did think that myself briefly, but on checking his extra deck, he only needs the one Macabre fodder.
He's gone through a lot of that extra deck, so expecting left in it is probably the Predaplant Link, IP, Nightmare, and then his Purgatrio.
I suppose it depends on whether he sided in the Rainbow Neos package, right?
I don't think he would have if he's going first. Unless he plans to like stun here and then go into it next turn and then clear everything away.
Well, it doesn't just clear the graveyard, that's the thing. So in theory, he could VFD in the standby phase, summon the Rainbow Neos, and then shuffle all the spell and trap back.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's, I'm assuming, either a hand trap or possibly like an O-line or Jet Synchron. So standby. Any effects from Logan? Nope. Unfortunately, Logan's got no access to fire monsters at the moment, but he does have the what's it called? The Almirage, so he could go into Purgatrio to punch for damage.
Okay. The Almirage would be that last card left in his extra deck then, if he hasn't sided the Rainbow Neos package.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I was racking my brain then, I was like, I swear I saw him summon an Almirage earlier. Ooh, he's added the duo.
Okay, so we've got a duo. So he can banish the Kaliga, but he has no light type to banish currently. But he does still have the Thunder Dragon in hand. There we are. So if Lewis wants to maintain board presence, yep, there we go. Chain of Sanguine.
I think we might see the Chain of Calamities here. In speaking with Logan earlier, he could very well chain the Calamities.
But realistically, it's not monster effects that he has to worry about at this point. It's the trap monsters, so he doesn't really get that much value out of using the VFD at this point.
I think he went and found a ruling saying that they resolve as monster effects.
I thought they resolved as trap effects because they can resolve under Mystic Mine.
I also thought they resolved as trap effects.
That's interesting. All right, so we have another Thunder Dragon. So he could chain another card here again to interrupt. Yep, there we are. Conquistador. So that could either destroy the VFD or the Macabre. I dare say the VFD is probably going to be the primary target. Yep, there we are. Or was that me? No, that was him.
Yeah, he's let it go.
A Purgatrio at this point could be devastating. But if his last card set is Hakero, that could banish the Invocation in order to stop the... Oh, hang on. Where is Invocation? Oh, never mind, I clicked the wrong thing. So if he's got the Hakero to banish the Invocation, he could just block that play altogether.
I'm assuming that was one Alistair. He's only seen one Alistair this game, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, I thought he had seen two.
No, he hard opened it and just reused the same one.
Okay.
Because he hard opened it and Invocation.
Got a long thing because you've used his 5-card extra deck. We're about to see, there's the declaration of the Invo. Oh,
No,
we're
so let
resolving.
that go. So it may not have been Hakero, it may be an Imperm or something similar. Yep, there we are.
I did definitely respond to that as well. Now let's see what these 4 cards are. With 7:30 left in the round, we'll see how much damage we can see fly out here. But given we're having a long stop here, I don't think he has a lot of cards he can move with in hand.
Well, at least one of them's Thunder Dragon. Oh, okay. So we've got possibly another attempt at an Evil Fiber play.
Nope, we're switching.
No, we're just going to attack mode.
I suppose if he thinks that's a Jet Synchron set, this quick draw is going to go over the top of it.
Yeah, but if it's an O line, he's going to take a teeny bit of damage.
Still remaining in main phase. You in graveyard.
Oh, of course, we still have the Thunder Dragon
Ah,
Duo. That was the
Duo,
last card in
yeah.
hand. So that'll progress Logan's game state just a little bit further because he'll get a search once he destroys one of these monsters.
And we'll definitely probably see that quick draw and Alice to turn into an IP in main phase 2 here. Could it be advantageous for Lewis to scoop?
Possibly, but I suppose they don't really know what time's left in round, so it'd be very hard for him to make that call.
I'll drop in when there's 5 left and let him know.
I suppose one of the big things too is that even though he's going to be able to get rid of a lot of this board, he will still have trap effects and things to resolve his next turn. Like he'll be able to summon his Golden Lord back by getting rid of Cursed Earth Land, which will get him another trap in grave, as well as the traps that he's already activated this turn. So Lewis isn't completely out of it, but it may be beneficial for him to actually scoop at this point. And now that he has a Thunder Dragon Arc in hand, he can clear another monster without having to worry about using the Thunder Dragon Titan's attack.
Oh, no.
No? Okay. He didn't think about that. Okay. He may be using it as a disrupt for all the traps next turn. Or possibly even in the end phase. So, the mysterious face down.
How much defense does Despot 001 have?
500.
Okay. So we think this is going to beat over.
Oh, actually, does it increase its own defense? For each machine? Yeah, so it's on 1,000. So it's a stalemate. Oh, wow. That's always the problem with Alistair. You feel very confident attacking face downs, but it's always something bigger than Alistair.
Okay. There we go. We'll
Yep.
see.
So we have a scoop from Lewis.
I just dropped in to tell them how much was left in the round.
Yeah, okay. And that prompted the scoop. There you go. Lewis's experience in time has come in handy.
With 4 minutes left, I am assuming Lewis will just go first, full combo, get as much as he can.
Well, the problem with that is that it doesn't really give him an opportunity to do damage, so he may well choose to go second. Just depends. Because if Logan opens up that whole combo again, it's very possible for him just to use about 4.5 minutes of time just to set up that board to only get Nibiru'd. It's interesting. Hard to say where you go from here.
Let's
Logan using all of his experience in games by taking as long as possible to decide.
This is a long time to decide, yeah. A very long time to decide. Oh, and apparently I've triggered the Siri on my phone. Now what will we see from Lewis?
All right, here we go.
Going
so he's chosen
first.
to go first. No, Logan's
second?
going first.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I thought, he's hoping that his hand traps will carry him, break Logan's board, and then he'll be able to do damage in time.
Okay, I just let them know there was 2 minutes 30 left.
All right, so we have a Gold Sark, so that'll banish a Thunder Dragon of some description. So we have a Roar. If Lewis has seen a Ghost Mourner, it's pretty opportune. Because pretty much any monster who drops that on will mean that Logan will either have to stop playing or risk losing in time.
Does it affect... Oh, yeah, because it's going to do burn damage, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Ooh. I was like, does it really affect the Thunder Dragons? But when they leave the field...
Yeah, it's more so. Yeah, there we go.
It is.
Ghost Mourner on the Thunder Dragon Dark, which means if he sends that to grave, he will put himself in a terrible position.
With 1 minute 30, that Thunder Dragon is... You'd have to consider that Thunder Dragon locked on the field.
All right, so we've got a Hawk coming down on the Roar. Does he risk it? Does he go for a short play and just risk it? He's banishing a light, so he's got the Thunder Dragon Wyvern. No, whatever it's called.
Black Dragon.
Black Dragon Collapse Serpent.
I think we're just going to see this turn into IP here.
Yeah, possibly turn that into IP and then maybe summon the White Dragon. Because that Thunder Dragon Dark will return to hand. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. I need to read Ghost Mourner. Oh, Logan's going to take damage regardless.
Why is that?
Because it's only when it leaves the field not to go to grave. And the Thunder Dragon Dark Raw Summon, rather, will return to hand.
Oh, that's going to be big.
So either way, he's taking 1,600 damage. That is a big brain play by Lewis, and I'd like to take credit for predicting it.
We are about to see time in the round in 5 seconds as well.
Oh, no. Oh, Logan's playing right into it.
Okay, Logan is not happy about the fact that there is time.
Of course he's not, because he's playing combo dot deck. He'll be even less happy when he realizes that he's already lost. Oh, no. Oh, this is Oh, it's so sad to watch. So
Because
he's just going to return those 3, but it doesn't matter.
if he IP to that dark, it's game.
Even if he doesn't, it's redundant. Like, the game's already lost.
Oh, because he can. Oh, the Nibiru drops. It leaves
Nibiru
field.
drops.
It's game.
It leaves field, and that's game.
Oh boy. Burn effective Ghost Mourner will put Lewis into the final.
Ghost Mourner, it's good, man. It's worth the money.
Invest in Ghost Mourner right now. Don't forget that burn.
Wonder if they know. Nope, there it is.
That will be game.
And that is game. And here we have Logan's typical typing in the chat. Time in the round. Don't we love this game, ladies and gentlemen? Well, let's be real, just gentlemen.
These time rules are amazing. It's only the semi-final, Logan. Okay.
Disappointing end, but you know what? It happens in combo decks.
Still, big congratulations to Lewis for making the final.
So that solidifies that it is very much a Eldlich mirror in the finals.
In the final, there is going to be a little bit of differences because Duck definitely does play those counter traps, so we'll see some different ratios in each deck.
We'll see which one is better.
Doesn't end up being too stale, but
fingers crossed. Yeah, well, that was enjoyable. Somewhat.
That was surprisingly enjoyable for a 45-minute go into time match.
Oh, well, thanks for having me, Ben.
That's absolutely no problem. Do you have any shout outs while you're
here? Shout out to Logan for losing because you suck. I'm not salty at all. No, but shout outs to both you and Corey for organising this to start with, and all the participants throughout the sort of preliminary point rounds. It's been great to do during the coronavirus. It's been really fun. So yeah, shout outs to you guys for getting it all started.
Thank you very much for that. But we will see you. I do believe it is going to be going up in 2 days' time, the final after this one, and we will see you guys there. But as always, I have been Ben from NolanTCG, joined here today by Jake from Cowboy for Game, and have a good afternoon, everybody.